Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Wherever you are, whatever you are up to in the world. Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Coffee Chat with me. I am Catherine Oster. Good morning, Mom. So, this lovely Friday, I think it's like minus 35 here in Saskatchewan, Canada this morning. This lovely chilly Friday, I wanted to chat with you guys about magic. What is magic? How does it show up? Well, the truth is magic shows up differently for everybody. It shows up differently. There's like no concrete definition of magic, and this is magic, and this is what you must look for. That's not actually correct. Good morning, Shannon. What is magic? Well, for me, it's like when something shows up as, even describing something good showing up is a limiting definition of magic. Good morning, Michelle. So magic. Magic is something that shows up that cannot be explained, that you did not control, that you cannot control, and it creates greater. That is my quick and dirty definition of magic. So, magic can show up in so many different ways. And, today as I was getting ready for Coffee Chat, I was reminiscing of the magic that has shown up. And when we acknowledge it, it exponentializes the magic. Good morning, Robert. So one of the most magical days was a few days ago. I was facilitating foundation class, and I was leaving earlier for class because I wanted to drive to town and pick up our mail. And I remember as I was getting ready, I wanted to grab a fizz stick. I really love these Arbonne fizz sticks. Add them in my water bottle. Gives me a boost of energy and nutrition, and I love the taste. So I'm on the road, realized I forgot to grab a fizz stick, and I was slightly disappointed. And I'm like, well, how does it get better than this? One of the tools that we learn in bars class, actually, and you probably don't even have to take a bars class to get that anymore. I talk about it, other CFs talk about these tools, other bars facilitators, other people who've taken classes talk about these tools. So that's a really cool thing. You don't even have to pay to take a class to get a tool. That's magic. Anyway, driving to town, get to the mailbox, and I have this beautiful letter from a friend and client, and I opened it up. She sent me a fizz stick in the mail with a Valentine's Day card. And I was like, wow. Wow. Oh my God. I'm like, thank you, universe, for the magic. Good morning, Loretta. That was so cool. And another thing that morning, I was getting ready. And of course, I was leaving earlier, and hubby, he was still sleeping. And I wanted to get my earrings. So I turn on the light in the bedroom. I thought he was up already. Turn on the light, and then he starts wrestling in the bed. I'm like, oh shit, turn off the light. I'm like, I felt really bad for disturbing him. And I'm like, well, I guess I just won't get any earrings today. Like, that's fine. I don't need to wear earrings. So get the mail, get to class. This is all on the same day. And one of my class participants gifted me a pair of earrings. And they matched my shirt. They matched my outfit. And she also gifted me a beautiful necklace pendant. And it was just like amazing. And I'm like, wow. Like, I couldn't even make that up myself. Like, the universe is so magical, and it's recognizing, it's starting to ask for it. I've been asking for magic to show up. I ask for magic every day. And how do you ask for magic? Well, dear universe, show me the magic, please. Show me the magic. Good morning, Jane. Another example of magic that was maybe not such a good circumstance. Hey, Tanya, was a couple years ago. It was July of 2020, and my dad had a heart attack. And I remember the day exactly. I was riding in a clinic, a dressage clinic by Lloydminster. My parents went hiking with my brother and his wife. And I remember getting the phone call from my sister-in-law saying I'm driving home from the clinic, or I had just gotten home, or she was texting me to make sure that I was home so I wasn't driving when she gave me the news. That's what it was. And I got home and I found out that my dad had a heart attack. And he was like in hiking, and he ended up being sent to Calgary. They were just by Canmore, and he ended up having like a 5 bypass surgery. So he's like, fast forward to, 2.5 years later, he's doing phenomenal. But it was magic. It was magic in all of the ways. He didn't have his heart attack till he got down the hill. Many of you probably remember hearing this story. It was freaking phenomenal. There was one of the first responders was like a heart surgeon. How does it get better than that? And I was just in the question, like, is this the change that I've been asking for, showing up in a greater way? Like, is this magic? And the energy was, yes, it was so light. Now, looking back, what this created for him, when we were going through COVID stuff, and this event happened really before they implemented any vaccines, and it kept him on disability from his work for 2 years. Well, the tumultuous work environment with COVID and, mandatory vaccines and all of that, it kept him home on disability for 2 years while that was going on. Fucking magic. Who would say that a heart attack was magic? Catherine Oster does. And even what if even somebody dying is magic? I look back on all these events of my life, and the biggest event that really led me to Access Consciousness and the tools was my father-in-law. He had a heart attack in his home, and he died that night. This was like February 2013. And then Helena was born on March 1st, our daughter. And then my grandma passed away like a week after Helena was born. It was like a month of 2 deaths and 1 birth. And that was magic. Who would have known when Travis and I chose to have another child? She happened really fast. And to have, I'm going to cry maybe as I'm talking about this, to have the birth of Helena in these 2 events is really what kept us going. Because you would look at this baby, I would feel really sad about my father-in-law dying. He was, such a huge part of our lives in the farm, and my grandma, we were so close. And this was like, my grandpa had passed away a few years before. I was really, really close to him, but having these 2 events and then a baby born in the middle. So I would be overcome with, feeling really, really sad about losing these people. But then there was Helena, and she was like the happiest baby in the world. And I could not look at her and smile. No matter how sad I felt in the moment, she always changed the energy. What a fucking gift. That's a miracle. And that whole month of my life catalyzed me into choosing something more with my life. Like what is life? I really started seeking, like, what can my life be? And is all we do work hard and die? Like, no, I actually want to have more than that. And that's what led me. And then all of a sudden, I had a medium reading with Glenise Hughes, who was a certified facilitator, and that led me to Access Bars and Foundation, and like magic. The other magical thing that is happening today is Trace and Helena, I'm going to work at the store. I work at the Paradise Hill Ranch in Western Wear on Fridays. And Trace and Helena are going to hang out with my parents for the day. And they were actually taking them to visit my grandparents with their great-grandparents, my dad's mom and dad, today, and they're going to have supper with them. So the kids aren't going to be home till after supper. So last night I asked Travis, I'm like, well, it's just going to be the two of us for supper. What do you want to have to eat? And I'll take some meat out. And he's like, well, maybe we'll go to the farmhouse, which is just a restaurant in town. And I was like, that would be fun. Like, Travis and I have not really ever, it's been a long time since just the two of us has gone out for supper. And I'm like, that feels really fun. So I'll come home from work and we'll go to the farmhouse. And I'm like, this is our own Valentine's Day celebration on February 24th. 10 days after Valentine's Day is when we celebrate Valentine's Day, and we didn't even plan it. It's like the universe conspired, you know, the magic. And so, yeah, magic. So my own personal challenge to you is to ask, universe, show me the magic, please. And then acknowledge it. Even it never shows up like you think it will, just like I was describing. And so, yeah, that is my coffee chat with you guys today. Coffee cheers. Thank you so much for joining me. Also, I wanted to say I'm doing a $10 class on Saturday, tomorrow morning at 10:30, and it's a kind of a dive into this book called The 10 Keys to Total Freedom, and we're going to do a bit on chapter 1, which is all about being an infinite being, and starting to access the magic that infinite being can be beyond the judgment. You know, when you get out of the judgment of events that something was bad, then you can see the magic, which is what with my dad's heart attack, you know, getting out of the event, the judgment that this is a bad thing could allow the magic to show up. So join me. I'll put a link. There's a post on my page, and I'll do another post if you're curious and would like to choose that. Okay. Have an amazing rest of the day, wherever you are, whatever you're up to. How much fun and how much magic can you have today? Bye-bye.